I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. There was a moment of bipartisanship on the Senate floor Tuesday. With the support of Republican Senator Mike Braun, Majority Whip Dick Durbin introduced a bill that requires supplement manufacturers to register their dietary product with the FDA. This includes giving the Food and Drug Administration a list of ingredients in each supplement. Durbin argues this will provide consumers with much-needed transparency on what they are putting into their bodies. Here's the Illinois senator introducing the bill.
Mr. President, if I were asked you, how did you start your day? I would imagine you would have your own answer, but most people would say, made a cup of coffee, took the dog out for a walk, went for a run. Another answer might come to mind, and I took my vitamin tablet, my dietary supplement. In fact, 70% of people in America take a dietary supplement, including me. I take a multivitamin tablet. I don't know if it does me any good. I figure it won't do me any harm. I believe in it. And I believe Americans ought to be able to make that choice. I also believe that Americans who take vitamins, minerals, and herbs for their health and well-being have a right to know what's in them. Pretty basic. Many people assume if that product is sold in the United States of America, somebody has inspected it and it must be safe. Unfortunately, that's not always true. The Food and Drug Administration has the authority to regulate dietary supplements and take dangerous products off the market, but it lacks information that it needs to use this authority effectively. The Food and Drug Administration can't even tell us how many dietary supplements are sold in America. They give us a range. Somewhere between 50,000 different dietary supplements and 80,000. 50,000 and 80,000? A gap of 30,000 products? What's going on here? They don't even know how many products are being sold, let alone what they are or what's in them. Let's go back to 1994. That was the year Congress passed a law and gave the FDA the authority to regulate supplements. Now, we all know that the Food and Drug Administration has the most important responsibility when it comes to the drugs that we take to make sure they are two things, safe and effective. Safe and effective. But what about dietary supplements? Well, we passed something called DSHEA, the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act. The law made some progress, but there was a problem with it. Manufacturers of dietary supplements, get this now, manufacturers of those vitamins and minerals that are for sale in all those shops and all those drugstores are not required to tell the Food and Drug Administration what products they're selling in the United States under what names. They're not required to disclose to the FDA what is in those products or where they are manufactured. And believe me, a lot of them are manufactured outside the United States. So when it comes to dietary supplements, the Food and Drug Administration and the American consumers are pretty much flying blind. Making matters worse, since 1994, this dietary supplement industry has grown dramatically. Listen to these figures. In 1994, there were 4,000 dietary supplements sold in the United States. Today, as I said earlier, the number is as high as 80,000. So in 27, 30 years, we've seen the number of dietary supplements for sale go from 4,000 to 80,000. Now, in 1994, dietary supplements were a $4 billion industry. Today, over $50 billion in annual revenue. Let me give you an example of one ingredient sold in dietary supplements today in the United States. It's called tianeptine. It can produce opiate-like effects. It's a prescription antidepressant in some countries, but it's not approved for any use in the United States of America. Yet, it's inexpensive and easy to produce. Some have nicknamed it, quote, gas station heroin, because you can buy it easily at gas stations across America. You can buy it online. One click, delivered to your door. It's marketed as a safe supplement that can improve your users' moods and enhance concentration. How many ads do you see on television, maybe I'm paying closer attention to them these days, that say, take this supplement and your memory's better. You can concentrate more. You're smiling, Mr. President, because we've all seen them. They're on television all the times. It's marketed also as a way to fight substance use disorder, this tianeptine. So last year, Consumer Reports, and I respect this magazine very much, published the results of an investigation it conducted into this supplement. It told the story of a Michigan woman who had used heroin for 10 years and survived countless overdoses and arrests. After her sister overdosed and died, she decided it was time to get clean. She was frightened. She was desperate enough to try anything. She heard about tianeptine. Maybe that could help her, so she tried it. She became hooked and dangerously ill, ending up in the hospital with a dangerous infection called sepsis. One doctor said to her, "I don't know if I can save your limbs, but I'll try." Another doctor told her she came within a day or two of dying. She was lucky, she survived. She now speaks publicly about the dangers of the product that nearly killed her. In her words, quote, "This is heroin times 1,000, and it's very devastating. It's life-destroying. I don't really know how to put into words how horrible this substance is." In the midst of a deadly opioid epidemic and a COVID pandemic, some unscrupulous characters are hustling to make a buck off of people's pain by selling them an unregulated product that might make them sick or even kill them. And the Food and Drug Administration lacks the basic knowledge, the basic information it needs to go after the people who are peddling these dangerous, life-threatening products. When asked about the situation, a Food and Drug Administration spokesman said the agency has, quote, "no systematic way of knowing what dietary supplement products are on the market." Think of that. The number one agency in the federal government, who you assume is taking a look at these products that you're buying at the vitamins and mineral store, has no way of knowing what's even for sale. As a result, the FDA, she said, is, quote, "left trying to play catch-up after the bad results occur." This week, Senator Braun of Indiana and I are introducing a bipartisan bill to protect Americans by requiring supplement manufacturers to register their products with the Food and Drug Administration. Our bill would require dietary supplement manufacturers to provide the FDA, listen, the information we're asking, the names of their products, the ingredients they contain, an electronic copy of the label, a list of any health claims that they've made, and more. All of this information would be available to consumers, so Americans have the right to know. If there's a problem with a supplement, the FDA could quickly check the database to see what other products might contain the same ingredients and warn innocent consumers. Dietary supplement makers that refuse to register with the FDA would see their products misbranded, and FDA should be given the appropriate authority to take action against them. Now, I've been down this road before. I wanted to make sure that the dietary supplement manufacturers, when we had a report of an adverse event, somebody took their pill thinking it was a harmless vitamin or mineral that might help them. It turned out to be dangerous. They got really sick or died. They had to report it. I worked on the floor for years to get that passed into law. My nemesis, my challenger in the whole issue was the late senator from Utah, Orrin Hatch. Eventually, we worked out an agreement. Adverse event reporting was required. Now, I might argue that it never worked quite as we expected it to, but at least it was an effort to alert people that sometimes what looks like an innocent vitamin or mineral can be dangerous. And the notion that the government has already checked it out is just plain wrong, as I've said here. But that was then, and I'll tell you what happened. I went into vitamin stores in the state of Illinois and saw my picture on every cash register. I was enemy number one because I asked that dangerous supplements report to the government if somebody gets sick when they took them. But having said that, I want to make something very clear about the difference the legislation Senator Braun and I have introduced will face. I've been through this, as I said. I proposed a change about 10 years ago, and the dietary supplement industry hated me. They fought me tooth and nail. They hated my idea like the devil hates holy water. In the years since Senator Braun and I started talking to them about this new bill There's been a significant change, and I want to salute the industry for this change. A strong majority of dietary supplement industry now supports responsible reporting requirements and stronger protections. Hats off to them. The industry's largest trade association, the Council for Responsible Nutrition, has endorsed our bill. Other trade associations supporting enhanced reporting requirements generally. We hope these groups will join us in the effort. Responsible dietary supplement manufacturers should welcome this because the people who are abusing the market and endangering consumers are giving them a bad name. We are also glad for the support of Pew Charitable Trust, which has worked diligently for years to protect consumers. Our bill will give the FDA what they must have, the information to protect Americans from dangerous products being sold as health supplements. Our bill will give them the information and the power. We urge our colleagues to join us in passing it as soon as possible. It is common sense bipartisan compromise that will protect consumers' health and save lives. The bottom line is I am willing to fight to protect every American's right to buy safe dietary supplements. It may help them, it may not, that's not my judgment. Each individual consumer should make that choice. As long as that dietary supplement is not dangerous to you or to Americans, as long as we know that it's for sale, who made it, what's in it, I think that basic information is what the government should gather. The vast majority of these supplements will not harm people, and the dietary supplement manufacturers know that, and that's why they're supporting our effort. I hope that more of my colleagues will join this bipartisan undertaking. Mr. President, I ask that the next statement I'm about to make be placed in a separate part in the record.
Without objection.
I watched a troubling program on 60 Minutes back in February. It detailed military tactical vehicle accidents. The report highlighted a terrible problem that has resulted in rollovers and other serious accidents involving the Army's most ubiquitous vehicle, the Humvee. Some of the safety upgrades, such as armor kits and other upgrades, that are designed to protect our warfighters in Humvees during combat from IEDs or other threats can in fact make the Humvees less stable and more prone to rollovers. Here's what it boiled down to. When we went into Iraq with our Humvees, we ran into these IEDs, these explosive devices that were set on the side of the road. They were triggered when Humvees came by. They blew up these Humvees and killed the occupants, military personnel from the United States. I also maimed many of them as well. The first soldier I visited after our invasion of Iraq out at Walter Reed was a sergeant from the Ohio National Guard who had lost half of one leg as a result of one of these IED explosions while he drove a Humvee. So we decided to do something about it. It was a dramatic and emergency undertaking to put armor plating on the sides of these Humvees so as they went down the road when these explosive devices went off, it would protect the people sitting inside. I know that it was an effort to do this as quickly as possible because the Rock Island Arsenal in the state of Illinois jumped to the challenge and really responded in a matter of weeks, putting armor plating on the Humvees. Now what happened, of course, is when we put that weighted plating on the sides to protect the occupants, it changed the camber and the balance of these vehicles. And many of them started being involved in rollover accidents. So by solving one problem, we introduced instability into the vehicle that haunted us and created more problems and even deaths. In fact, just last year, the GAO reported that more than 3,750 non-combat accidents as a result of tactical vehicle accidents in the Army and Marine Corps occurred between fiscal years 2010 and 2019. At least 123 service members died as a result of such accidents during the same time frame. Since then, the Army has pursued a number of improvements, including training for safety officers and inspections as they're part of their tactical vehicle drivers training. That has helped the situation. The Army is also working to incorporate a variety of safety upgrades to both brand new and recently produced Humvees, including anti-lock brake and electronic stability control safety kits to help prevent rollovers and accidents. In fact, since 2017, all new Army Humvees already have these safety kits installed. This includes Humvees procured as part of our partnership at Rock Island Arsenal, where the safety kits are actually part of the integrated chassis system delivered to the arsenal. As the Army continues its Joint Light Tactical Vehicle procurement strategy, the Humvee will continue to be the workhorse of the future. Army tactical wheeled vehicle fleet is led by these units, with over 50,000 in service for decades to come. As such, we owe it to the fighting forces to give them newer, safer Humvees. And we must ensure that recently produced Humvees currently in the fleet, those used across combat and training and other operational capabilities, are updated with safety kits. The Army is also reviewing additional safety upgrades, such as airbags and restraint systems, that can help save lives as well. All of these critical investments must be made in parallel. The 60 Minutes piece has made clear that the risk and cost. This is a clear call to action for all of us in Congress. The fiscal year 22 omnibus included $183 million for more safety kits on existing Humvees. I look forward to continuing to work with the Army on further efforts to make the Humvees safer and to keep our promise to protect the lives of our men and women in uniform.